Hello and welcome to the commentary version of a Leona video. As per usual, the non-commentary version will be linked below in the description. As you can see, we're in Miss Lane as a support Leona alongside Cogmore, a rather silly Cogmore. But he's also a very good Cogmore because he made his video last a lot longer than it was supposed to last. But alas, we still got to do what I wanted to do, which was to generally show what Leona can do. Now, Leona herself is pretty much a very aggressive support character. As you can see here, we just charge straight in using the Zenith Blade, which is her E attack. I always like to go with that first, though you may choose to go with the Q first for the stun. But either way, they both stun, because Leona has 3 stuns. Here I accidentally click on him rather than actually using my exhaust on him, but Cogmore gets the job done anyway because he's very good. And he's also a nice Cogmore. People in bot games tend to be nice. Since this is the first commentary I'm going to be doing, I'll pretty much point out that I play against bots pretty much 95% of the time. Because I like the atmosphere during them, even though they are sometimes a little too easy. Now, since we've leveled up, we've gone and gotten her Shield of Daybreak, which is her Q attack. That will now give us 2 separate stuns. We can use the Zenith Blade to throw ourselves in, and then use the Shield of Daybreak to stun the enemy, which is a very impressive combo. This can be seen hopefully soon, when I choose to actually attack. There we go. And it pretty much locks up Sona for the kill, even though he probably could have gotten the kill either way. Let's see if we do the same for the Ezreal. Of course we do the same for Ezreal. And once again, Cogmore picks up a second kill. As can be seen, Leona is very good at setting up kills. However, the main problem with that being that she has to get into melee range, unlike many other supports who have ranged attacks. So when she does go into them, she is quite easy to pick off if they all focus on them. But alas, I generally build for tanking items myself. At the moment I'm actually using a defensive build, and Cogmore actually comments on how overly aggressive I'm actually playing. I don't think Leona's maybe supposed to play this aggressive, but I find it entertaining. And as per usual, I take part in typing, when I should be killing. But then again, as support, the best job is to simply let the carry, who is the Cogmore in this case, do all the killing of the minions so he gets the most gold. I did miss my Zenith Blade back then, but we managed to get the kill on Ezreal anyway, using the Shield of Daybreak. And Cogmore's pretty much hiding in the bush here at the moment, which isn't really needed because we're just going to pick off Sona once more. Now, as you've been seeing me using, the Eclipse is a shield. Well, it's not too much of a shield for actually absorbing damage, but it does lower the amount of damage you receive because it increases your defences. And then also decreases the amount of damage you take from towers. So that's pretty much what's keeping me alive when I keep charging into the enemy. It also does damage like all other abilities when it goes through its 3-second countdown. But alas, all I do with that is to make sure that I help to guarantee the kills, because I pretty much like to have the carry take as many kills as they can get. And he's commenting on how the bots aren't worth much gold anymore because we've been killing them a little too much. Sometimes the AI can be a pain, but when you have a powerful support like Leona and a very powerful carry like Cogmore, it gets the job done quite easily. As you can see, Cogmore can just run off and kill others. I've already set up the kills for him, and then he can pretty much just go through the rest. He has a very good build now, as can be seen up there. He has a lot of attack damage and attack speed, so he doesn't really need me anymore to actually get the kills at this stage. But I'll stay around anyway because I like him, and I want to help him a little bit more. At this point I probably should be going and helping other people who would have a not so easy time of killing them. But as I said, I like to help out Cogmore more. Other people should be able to hold their own anyway. And as can be seen by the length of the video, they do. And a nice thing here is to actually comment on who wants to take the blue, because he's going to go and get the blue buff, which, as always, increases your mana regeneration and your cooldowns. Well, reduces your cooldowns. Usually they would give it to the support if they were going to go and take it as a carry support, but since we're playing with a Cogmore, I asked him and he wanted it so that he can spam his ultimate more, because Cogmore is very mana resourceful. He's a champion that I was trying to record a video for, but I'm really not that good at playing him. And I can pretty much laugh at them as well, as I do. This can be seen even with that buff, Cogmore still running out of mana fast. Maybe we're getting a little bit too cocky, but it's always good fun. We're going to carry on and take down this tower now. And Cogmore's pretty much pointing out the fact there that he's very fed. However, since he's Cogmore, he cannot possibly be fully fed because he's always hungry. Which is an obvious joke that I end up making on there as well. This can be seen when you have Leona, you can pretty much just keep charging in and stunning them 2 times and using the Eclipse to do extra damage and make you take a lot less damage. I just ran into a group of 3 and pretty much got out unscathed. Well, I'm almost dead, but I didn't die, and that's what matters. And killing them isn't always the most important thing, which is more useful during PvP, of course, and not PvE, but when you manage to push them out of the lane when they can't get their levels of gold. So, even though we didn't manage to get too many kills from that, it was still nice to push those 3 out, and then Cogmore could go in for some other kills. At least I don't think we killed them, I didn't pay too much attention, to be honest. Now at this stage, my build doesn't exactly make sense. Cogmore's trying to shoot me, luckily friendly fire is off. But at this point I pretty much wanted to have the Sunfire Cape because I go with the fact that Leona uses the sun and also the energy for her attack, so I decided to go with the Sun Cape. However, at this stage I probably should have remained with my mana regeneration and got some other items before I went for it. However, I decided that I just wanted to go for the cape, so I did. As I've mentioned in the video's description, these videos are pretty much for people who are new to the champions, or to people who are pondering if they want to play them or not, or for general entertainment reasons. And not if you actually want to find a good build, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who would ever go for just a Sunfire Cape. It's not too intelligent. However, it works wonders for me. At this point, I go and join the middle lane, and completely failed to shoot my ultimate there. The ultimate, which I haven't mentioned before now, is yet another stun. You can strike it at an object rather than having to actually touch it yourself, as could be seen. So it's a skill shot in that turn. And it will stun anyone who's in the centre of it and slow those on the outside, as well as do a lot of damage. It's very good. However, I sort of accidentally threw it at absolutely no one. I hope no one saw that, to be honest. However, sadly, now everyone has who is watching this video. Oops. Oh well, there's always got to be some sort of fail, hasn't there? At this point though, with the Sunfire Cape, I've pretty much got so much HP and so much physical defense that I can just keep charging into enemies as I've already been doing with even less Roy. I accidentally stole one of Cogmore's minion kills, but at this point it doesn't really matter. because that's was sung by a cape that damages around you, which is very helpful, especially with Leona since she's throwing herself into the enemies. As can be seen, the glow around her, the halo-like appearance that's on again now, is her shield, the Eclipse one. And Leona's so tanky that she can just run into towers and really not take much problem. Cogmo, on the other hand, gets quite injured by them, so he has to back away. However, I can just keep throwing myself into harm's way and get out pretty much scot-free, which is very handy. I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, but Leona is pretty much one of my favourite champions in the entire game, along with Sona. Sona's another champion who began as my very first favourite and is pretty much kept that position. I love the general premise of Sona and how she actually plays, whereas Leona is pretty much straight up there with her. I love just being able to charge into enemies, stun them, and help everyone else get kills. Because I do love playing with support. The support role is the best role in my opinion. You may have noticed that I haven't been putting down any wards. However, since it's an AI game, they're a lot less needed than players because they're more expected of what I'm going to do. At this point, I probably should ultimate Shen using my Solar Flare, but instead I decided to chase him down and then go for what I actually thought was quite a nice kill, just charging into their base and taking him out. I'm happy with that personally. And Cogmore scores as an ace, killing the final opponent. At this point we've pretty much won the level, there isn't really anything that the enemy can do to us. They could kill some of us, but we're so far ahead that it wouldn't really cause much problem. You know, we can just charge us in front of a Sona kill, and as you can see, that's pretty much all you have to do with Sona, is to charge in with Zenith Blade, then stun them while you're using the Eclipse, so that the Eclipse triggers and we end up dying because of Tibbers. Ah, Tibbers. And Tibbers also manages to kill Cogmore as well, which is quite nasty. But we score another ace, so all is well. That is sadly the expected outcome of if you do play as aggressively as I do. If you want to continually charge into the enemies, as I've put there, it is quite inevitable that you're going to die. But it's fun nevertheless.
Stay at the vanguard.
Let's pick up some extra movement speed and head back to their base with Cogmore by my side. He's been my buddy throughout this entire match, and he's been awesome. Pretty sure that anyone who's watching this has to agree Cogmore had skills. And he's quite cute for an unbelievably menacing consumer of existence as he is. And that's just taking a quick look at his equipment as well as the rest of the teams. And you can see that he was pretty much very fed. And at this point I could just charge into the enemy and flash out and then charge back in again, and we can secure every single kill. At this point I accidentally get the final kill there, denying him a quadra kill, but he doesn't mind because I've pretty much scored him so many already. And then we win the level, and this has been how you play Leona. It's quite the basics of course, because there's likely more to her than I know, but I find her very fun regardless to play. And as Cogmore says, that went a lot better than expected. So that's that, and see you with the next champion. Farewell.